The age-old question, to zoom or to prime? The answer doesn't really matter, to be honest. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. But I have several possibly insignificant reasons why I personally choose prime lenses over zoom lenses. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, my name is Axel. I'm a content creation specialist and a digital marketing student here in the Reno Tahoe area. When I started my career in photography, I prioritized versatility over absolutely everything else. Because of that, I ended up with 4 zoom lenses: the Sony 12-24 f4, the Sony 24-105 f4, the Sony 70-300 f4.5 to 5.6, which is kind of a mediocre lens to be honest, and the Tamron 150-500 millimeter f5 to 6.7 Di3 VCVXD. Tamron's taking notes from Sony on how to name their products. Anyway, whenever I went on a hike, I wanted to make sure that I brought lenses to cover me from 12 to 500 millimeters. And that worked for a while. But a paradox of choice started to arise anytime that I was out. I had so many options in focal length that I just kind of did nothing. I was taking less photos and just kind of enjoying my time even less. One of my first gigs making money with my camera was indoors. Using an f4 lens on a Sony a7R II indoors was not very good. For one, f4 is not super bright, and my Sony a7R II, which I'm still using, I still have it, I'm recording with it right now, has terrible high ISO performance. It's just bad. Like the autofocus starts struggling around 3200 ISO. It's bad. Realizing my issues, I bought a couple primes. I bought the Sigma 35mm f2 and the 65mm f2, and kind of fell in love with these little powerhouse lenses. Now the quality of my work started to increase because I could use faster shutter speeds, lower my ISO, and just get cleaner images. And now I know this sounds a little bit vain, but we all like it when people compliment our work, so I was getting compliments using these lenses, so it made me want to use the lenses more. Okay, so functionally, in a professional setting, having the wider f2 apertures versus the f4 was a huge benefit in just getting cleaner images and just the quality of my work overall. But what about the hobby side? When I'm just out and about doing whatever I want for me, how was it beneficial there? I thought being confined to a single focal length was just gonna like absolutely kill my desire to like go do photography, because it's like, oh, well, I don't have 105 millimeters, I don't have 200, I just have this 35 and I'm stuck with that, so whatever. But actually, it went a long way to just simplifying the process and made it a lot more fun for me actually. It's like you have a lens and it's just like, okay, this is your frame, find the image within it, and that's what you have to do. That's your goal. It's no longer pick the perfect focal length for this scene, it's find the scene that fits this focal length. And that I thought was really fun. So at this point, prime lenses, huge hit. The next step is to find a wide-angle prime for video, because up until recently, I was still using my Sony 12-24 f4 for all of my kind of more vlog style videos and a lot of my video content. And it took me a really long time to find a lens that I thought would be really suitable to replace my 12-24, because I really liked that ultra wide perspective, but I started to realize that, 12 millimeters is really only beneficial in very certain circumstances. Like it's a very limited use case lens. But I sold the 12-24 f4 and I picked up the Sony 20mm f1.8G, which I'm filming with right now. This is my Sony. I'm using my 20mm right now. In my shift away from zoom lenses and over to prime lenses, I've only kept 2 of my zoom lenses, and one of them is the Sony 24-105 f4. Honestly, if I were to ever sell another lens, this is probably the first one I'd sell off because I just don't use it anymore. And the other lens that I kept was the Tamron 150 to 500 millimeter f5 to 6.7. This one I don't think I'll ever sell just because I live in a beautiful area and I really like to take photos of the birds, the animals, and things like that that are just kind of hanging around my property. This lens is fantastic for that. And I don't have $12,000 for a 600 millimeter prime. For my particular use case, the function and the simplicity benefits of prime lenses just outweighs the versatility of zoom lenses. I just really appreciate a good quality prime lens. Anyway, that's it. If you found value or enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things. Bye.